dry skin, reactive skin, or rosacea, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Laura Ray, and today I will share with you my favorite skincare for the face, the body, and also makeup for those of us with dry, reactive, and skin with rosacea. You all have heard me say how much I love Vanicream for my dry skin, but I still was having quite a bit of reactions on my face consistently, and I did more research, and not that I don't love Vanicream, I do, but there is a line by Roche Posay that is specifically made for not only dry skin, but people with allergic skin that break out to things so easily, and also people with rosacea. So recently, I tried out this line. I purchased everything myself, slowly but surely. I started with a face wash, and I loved it. It's a hydrating cleanser. When I'm done cleansing, my skin doesn't feel tight. It doesn't have more of a reaction on it. This has been one of my biggest problems with cleansers. It is fragrance-free. I just really like it. It has a milky texture to it. So if you're still struggling with dry skin, you might want to give this a try. I really like it. It's a little more than the Vanicream, but it's still within sort of the same price point. So I really like this a lot. After I tried the cleanser, I wanted to really work on the moisturizer because I felt like that was maybe where my skin was having the most issues and being so reactive, and I was looking for something that would calm my skin down. For those of you with rosacea, I wanted to try a serum that would calm the redness down. I still was having such a problem with my face being red a lot. So I tried this one. It's called Rosaliac AR, and it's specifically made for people with rosacea to sort of calm the feeling of that heat and redness, and this really worked for me. I liked it, and you use this before you use your moisturizer. So this is a serum. You put it on, let it sink in, and then apply your moisturizer. So I've really been happy with this. I feel like my skin relaxes a little bit when I use this. So it doesn't have any coloring to it, so it doesn't come out green or anything where it's color correcting, but it does seem to calm down the redness. So for moisturizer, I am using the La Roche Posay Toleraine Ultra, and then they have a nighttime one that's Ultra Night. Now, this may not be necessary to have two moisturizers, and I want to say that right now. Don't feel you need everything. I am trying these things out to see what I feel works for me best, and then I may even end up paring this routine down some. So don't feel that you would need everything I'm trying. I just want to give you the best feedback I can on these products. I love this for daytime. Now, this does not have any sunscreen in it, and we'll get to the sunscreen I am using because it's very important to protect your skin from the sun. I do like the packaging of this. They have it airtight. This is in sort of like a bag within the plastic so that the ingredients stay working properly. So I do like that. This one, actually the one that I'm using for day, says you can use it for night. So I may end up feeling like I can just get away with using this day and night. Now the nighttime one says that you can bring it up under the eyes and it works there. So I may end up eliminating the eye cream that I'm going to show you. But for right now, I'm applying that and also using the night cream. This is from the same line, the Toleraine, but this is for the eyes. Now, for a long time, I haven't used an eye cream, but I found that I was getting a lot of crepiness in the inner corner here and a lot of dryness. Now, that could be from the azelaic acid I'm using to control the rosacea. It's very strong, and sometimes I just bring it up here, but it will migrate while I'm sleeping. So I was finding a lot of dryness there, so that's why I wanted to try this eye cream. I do love it. I love everything from this line. Since I've started using this line, I feel like my skin is at peace. That's the only way I can say it. Before, I was feeling a lot of tightness and almost where my face was hurting at times, especially depending on the weather. If it's cooler weather, then I really feel it where it's actually painful. But since I started using these products, and I noticed a lot of other people in comments on different sites that have used these products have said the same thing, that it was the first time their skin actually wasn't a distraction for them. Like, I don't think about my skin hurting during the day. I can just sort of be free and think about other things, where before I was having pain and my mind would go to that. So I'm really happy with this line. I'm going to continue to purchase it, continue to use it, and I will also keep you updated on how I feel about it as more time goes on. Now, one thing that's really always worked for me in the under eye area is a product with caffeine. And I'm really happy with the eye cream, but there wasn't any caffeine in it to sort of plump the eye up and plump fine lines, because dryness and fine lines that can be a little different because, of course, having moisture in the skin helps plump the fine lines, but I've always felt caffeines work great for me. However, the coffee bean oil, which I love if I'm using my Gua Sha tool or putting on some under the eye at night, that's fine, but this breaks up the makeup, so it's not really good for during the daytime if I'm wearing makeup, which I always am pretty much for work. So I purchased this from Vichy. I had read so many great reviews. It's a gel. So what I've been doing is putting this gel on and then putting the eye cream on top of it. I let the gel sort of dry and then put that on top. And it is beautiful. Now, a lot of people use this on its own. Even the bottle is gorgeous, isn't it? I love the packaging on this. But it really does seem to plump. I'm enjoying it. What I'm going to start doing is trying these products separately, like just using this and see if it's enough hydration for me or not. If not, then I'll continue to put the Roche Posay on top of it. But since this is very thin, I put this on first and then I top it with the other eye cream. Now for sunscreen. This is the hardest product for someone with reactive skin. I've tried dozens and dozens of sunscreens, and the minute I put them on, bumps all over my face. So I've been looking into some Japanese products that I've heard a lot of great things about. One I want to share with you today. This is from a company called Canmake. I buy this on Amazon. I'll have this in my Amazon store. But what I like about it, it's a 50+++ sunscreen, and it adds luminosity to the skin. I love the way it looks. It's called Mermaid Skin Gel UV, and I love it. It is a little bit tacky on the skin as far as very hydrating. So I think this is actually really good for dry skin. When I put it on, it gives me a beautiful glow. I really like it. My skin doesn't break out from it, which is great news. For those of you with just dry skin, it adds a lot of glow. And we know as we age, I'm 56, we lose some of that glow we had when we were younger because we're losing that oil. So, and we also get a little duller. So I really like the look that this gives, and I'm very happy with this product. 3 products that I want to share with you for the body. I am still loving, I've talked about this before, the Gold Bond Radiance Renewal. This is the one with mango butter, almond oil, and coconut oil. I use this on my legs, my arms, anywhere in my body that I feel is dry. And like I said, the dryness sometimes is painful. I have felt like my legs, the skin is really tight sometimes from dryness, and I have tried to take cooler showers. That's one of my problems. I love a hot shower, but the consequence of that is it dries out your skin. It's really not good for your skin. Now, this has a little pop top. It's very easy to dispense. It's so economical, inexpensive, and I just love it. It even adds a little bit of glow to my skin. I am still loving my Vaseline All-Over Balm. This is great. You can throw it in your purse, keep it next to your bed. I love this. I have 2 of them. I use one on, just my arms and cuticles and all of that. And then I have one specifically just for my feet. You can just take this, rub it on your feet at night, and then I just put socks on, and your feet will feel like baby's feet. Hands. I wash my hands so many times a day. I am teaching what they call brick and mortar, meaning with real students. I also teach virtually. So our area, we've gone to a hybrid where we do both. And so I am seeing students all day, and so I wash my hands quite a bit. And even though I use a really good soap, I brought my own from home that I keep in the bathroom at school so my hands don't get so dry, they still suffer. So I've been using the Eucerin Advanced Repair. I love this. It makes your skin feel so soft, it's almost like powdery. I love that feel. It keeps my hands moisturized. I don't have to keep applying this all day. This isn't one of those products where you apply it and a few minutes later you feel like you need more of it. I can get away with maybe once or twice a day putting this on my hands, and it's keeping my hands in really good shape. My favorite lip tool is still this little silicone scrubber. I love it. I like to put on my Beauty Hacks lip mask and just go over it with that, wipe it off. And this is moisturizing enough where my lips still feel fantastic. Now, I also apply this afterwards if I'm going to sleep so that I can have a good amount and have it really sink in during the night. Another thing you can do is take coconut oil. I do that also, put it over your lips, take the scrubber and just go over them. Now, this scrubber, I've talked about this before, is not only great for your lips, but it's great for getting in the sides of your nose to exfoliate if you get white whiteheads or blackheads in that area. It's a great way to clean it. That's sort of a hard area to get into, and also very gentle for the inside of the eye and the outer portion of the eye, even just down here. I love it. It's very soft. My favorite side to use is this one because it's got real little tiny pieces of silicone that are very gentle. But if you want to sort of plump the lips and get the, a little more rigorously, you can use the bumpy side and go over the lips. I do that after I've done the small side here. But this helps so much to keep the lips looking full and youthful. Some of you are probably wondering, why isn't she talking about her Queen Bee Peeper Keeper? I still love that. This has so many different oils in it. Olive oil, I think coconut, rice bean oil, lots of different oils in here. Now I saved this because I wanted to give a tip. And Matthias Allen, who I recently did a collab with, he was talking about when he's touching up a celebrity and he uses a concealer under the eyes, he can't keep packing that on as the day goes on the movie set. So he takes a balm and sort of pushes it in and reactivates the concealer so it will spread out and get better coverage. This is great for that. So I do like putting this on in the evening. If I feel my eyes are really dry, I sort of just press this into the skin. But also during the day, if I've already put on concealer, but it's looking dry, I'll just put a small amount and sort of blend it out and tap it and press it into the skin. And it makes the concealer look so much better. This is also great for putting on the cheekbone if you're looking for a highlight and your skin's looking dry and you don't want to put on more makeup. This is a great way of highlighting the cheekbones. But this is just one of those amazing products that I always want to keep in my makeup kit. All right, let's talk about primer now. When we have dry skin, we might think, oh, I don't want to put on a primer. If anything, you want one more because it's going to help avoid having these little hunks of skin that the makeup gets caught on. Also for me, with having to wear a mask quite often, primer has saved my skin. My skin was terrible with rosacea from where the mask would lay, and even where it would rub, I would get breakouts all along the jawline. So I started back on the primer train, and I have not looked back because it's helped so much. I have two I'd like to share that are so inexpensive. The e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Face Primer. This has the green in it. Now you have to be careful when you buy this because there's one that looks like it that's made for acne. And that has some, I think maybe salicylic acid in it, and that is terrible for those of us with rosacea. That will send me into a huge flare. So this is one just with a tone adjuster in it. It helps take out some of the redness that those of us with dry skin can be very red too, not just people with rosacea. When your skin is dry and inflamed, it can be very red. So this is great for dry skin. I also love the 1 Minute Face Perfector. This is an amazing product. Now, it's like mousse. You just pat it into the skin. You want to sort of take these primers and push them in. I always make sure my hands are really clean before I start using these because these are great to do with your hands. And I just press it in, and then if there's an area that needs blended out, I just take my finger and very gently blend. But I love this because this has like a nude-like look. It blocks the redness. So if your skin is red and you're trying to sort of cover that up, by using this primer, I find I don't have to use as much foundation to cover up the redness. So this has worked out beautifully. I've tried so many foundations over the past few months for my dry skin. I've had to really change my routine because before my skin was very oily to normal. Now I've gone into this dry skin mode, and even patches of my skin will be oily. So I got a lot going on here, but I've talked so much over the past year about the Flower Beauty Foundation. This was one of the only ones when I had a huge flare last October that did not send me into a worse flare. So I'm so thankful that I had this foundation because I was trying to cover up a lot. Now that my skin has calmed down, I'm trying other foundations and seeing if they're reactive. One thing I do want to say is try it out on the inside of your arm before you use products. I've been doing that to see in this sensitive area if I get any kind of breakout before I put it on my face. Something that's more recent I love is this BB cream. It's from the company I mentioned earlier, Canmake. It's beautiful. They only have a couple of shades. That's the downside of things. I ordered the number 2 shade. The number 1 is for very fair skin, but I am in love with this. It's very hydrating. Now also this has a 50++ sunscreen. So between using the Mermaid gel, the one I was using underneath, and then topping it with this, I feel like I get great coverage for sunscreen for my skin, which has been a really hard thing for me to find a sunscreen that will work. So now I feel great that I have it not only in my foundation I'm using, but also in my sunscreen. Some of my subscribers have written when I've shown putting the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in my eyes, and they've said, oh Laura, my eyes are just too oily. I need a real primer on my eyes. Well, primer's tricky on the eyes as we get older. There are days when we may have drier eyes due to allergies or other environmental factors, and then other days when our eyes are more oily. So if I had to recommend a primer for the eyes that I think is great for a mature woman, this one from Revolution is called Prime and Lock. It has the large doe foot applicator. I think it looks very luxe, the packaging on this. I like the rose gold, and it's very creamy. It blends easily. It holds onto the shadows. Now for me, I sometimes have dry lids, sometimes they're oily. So this seems to work regardless, so it's one of my favorites. Let's talk about concealers. I wanted to review the new True Match concealer, their new eye cream, because it looks so much like a dupe for the IT Cosmetics. And there's quite a price difference. At first, I bought light warm shade 3 to 4. That's the first shade I bought. And I brought it home and I tried it and I really liked it. But it was very close to my own skin tone, so it didn't give much of a brightening effect under the eye. So I went back out to the store and bought the warm 1 through 2 Fair. That's the number on it. And this has hyaluronic acid in it, which is one of the reasons I wanted to try it. Now I will say this is very different from the IT. The IT is so powerful. A little bit of it, I've used it many times. It gives this really brightening effect. This effect is much calmer, but this is so much more moisturizing. I think this is very user-friendly for a mature eye. It feels like an eye cream. It blends out like an eye cream, and it's very thin. Now, those of you that watch all the time know I want the thinnest products that I can get with enough pigment to give me coverage. So what I've done today, and I've been doing, I put on the light concealer first in the inner and outer corner of my eye. I never go in with product loading it under the eye. I've learned that's not a good look for me. And then I've been sort of topping it with the 3 to 4. Now you wouldn't need to do this, but this is just so I don't look too bright. If you love that bright look, you would just want a little shade lighter than your normal skin. And then I blend it out with a brush. Now, one of my other favorite tricks I've been doing lately is to take the brush. I'll get my powder, which I'm using the Catrice Prime and Fine mattifying powder. This is one that Matthias loved, and I already had it in my collection. I had it right in my drawer, so I got it out. But what I like to do is take this, dip into this, and go underneath the lash line like I'm putting on just some shadow under my eyes. So I don't bring the powder all the way under the eye because I find it makes my eyes look very old and dry, and those of us with dry skin are trying to get away from that. And by doing this right under the lash line, I find it holds my eyeliner on great, it holds the concealer great. Now I also like to take a brush and where I'm blending out the concealer, sort of go like this on a diagonal. And that just gives my eye a more lifted look with the eyeshadow. But these are some things I've been doing lately that I think help the look of my eye makeup, my concealer, and are just really good, helpful things for a mature eye. Setting sprays are typically a big no-no for me because most of them contain alcohol. But I've been using this old one, oldie but a goodie, this one from e.l.f. It's their original makeup mist and set. It does not break me out. And let me tell you, since I have been putting this on, my makeup stays on so much better throughout the day. I just spray it in the morning when I'm done with my makeup, and it lasts. The big thing for me is with the mask coming off and on, it tends to wear off makeup. That's why I went looking for a setting spray. I hadn't used one in such a long time because of my skin being so reactive. But this keeps my skin hydrated. When I use it, there's no dryness. Some of e.l.f. setting sprays do have alcohol. This one, from what I can see in the ingredients, I didn't see any. And if it does have any, it's so little that it doesn't disturb my skin. But I'm loving it. I love the fact that my makeup stays on so well, and I will definitely repurchase. There are so many great cream blushes. If you have dry skin, I really feel cream blush is your BFF. I find it looks so much better on my skin. I do love powder, and there are some powders I use that have hydrating ingredients in them, like the one from L'Oreal I've talked about quite a bit. But this, again, is from Canmake, and this is so creamy, so yummy on the skin. I love it. I'm talking about it like it's food, but it feels delicious. I just love the way it looks on my skin. It's dewy, youthful. This shade is 05. I love it. You can apply it with your fingers. You can use a silicone brush to sort of pat it in the skin, whatever way floats your boat. But this is beautiful. I love it. I've talked quite a bit over time about this one from Physicians Formula. This is just a liquid. I'll show you on my glass palette here. It is a liquid, and this is very pigmented. You need so little on the cheeks, but it's beautiful. Again, it's one of those products like the Canmake that just sinks into the skin, and you can't even tell someone has blush. They just look like they have this youthful glow. So I really love it. These are a couple of my favorites that I've been using. Okay, let's move on to lips. I've talked about these before. These are the Nivea Lip Care. I bought them in a kit off Amazon. I love every shade. They're very moisturizing. I just keep them close to me. I've talked a lot about Blackberry. That's one of my favorites, especially for fall. It is not a dupe for Clinique's Black Honey. Black Honey's more brown. This is more burgundy kind of shade, but I love it. It's very hydrating. Some lip care that you put on, you feel like you have to keep putting it on because your lips feel dry throughout the day. I never feel that way with this. So this, especially the Blackberry, is just one of my all-time favorites. LA Girl is one of my favorite inexpensive lines. I love it. They have so many great products that are reasonable. They've recently come out with a new lipstick. Look at this. Magnetic closure. For this price, I think this cost me maybe around the $6 mark. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite nudes ever. I'm wearing this. I think this shade is wearable for everyone. It is just a gorgeous nude. It doesn't bleach me out, yet it's not so brown where it's too harsh. I have not stopped using this, and it is so creamy. To me, this looks like a really high-end lipstick, something like a Tom Ford kind of lipstick. Usually in this price range, you don't see this kind of creaminess. I can't get away from this. I keep wearing it because I love the shade. It goes with everything that I wear. It's just one of my all-time favorites and a beautiful lipstick. So these are my picks for dry skin. Please never feel like you need to buy all of this. I'm trying these things out for you so that you can pick and choose the things that you need in your life that you think will enhance the look that you're trying to achieve. I just want to support that. All of these things today that I showed you, I bought myself. And so I do a lot of research before I go spend my money because this is my own money and it costs a lot to buy all of these things. So I go in wanting them to work. If they don't work, I try them out a lot of different ways to make sure it's not human error on my part. But these are products I've been using a while. The newest to all of this was the La Roche Posay, and that's just one of those things that instantly I saw a difference. The first night my skin felt calmer. So I really didn't want to wait any longer to share that with you because I think the products are amazing. Now let's talk about our giveaway. I have a giveaway this week that I hope you'll enjoy. This is a cleaning mat from Sigma. They sent this to me probably a year ago. I've had it. I have a big stock of giveaway stuff, either if someone sends me something that I give or I buy most of the giveaway myself. But this is great for cleaning your brushes. You have a lot of different textures here to get your brushes clean. And then I purchased this over at Ulta for a giveaway because I love Flower Beauty so much. This is one of my favorite lipsticks. Again, the lipstick part, it's a duo, is so creamy. And this part is like a shimmery gloss you can add to the center or just wear alone. If you're interested, just leave me a comment below. And I would also like to hear what's your favorite product for dry skin, something that you feel has turned your skin around. I hope you have an amazing week.